We are in the city of St. John's. 59 Duckworth is the place if you want to come to the Craft Council of Newfoundland and Labrador. And what a spot it is. And Manuel with me, Executive Director. Is that right?
That is right.
Do I need to salute you?
Not at all. I find myself being the Indian to the many chiefs, really.
Well, when you talk about it, there are a ton of artists showcased here.
There are. In this shop that you were standing in today, there's the work of over 200 members of the Craft Council. We actually have 300 members all over the province and a few from outside.
I'm looking around and I'm seeing mediums of every kind. Tell me exactly what's showcased here.
Well, you're right. There are examples of work in every medium: glass, metal, wood, textile. Fiber is really strong in this province.
Yes.
We have a really strong textiles training program within the community college, and as a consequence, we have a lot of craftspeople who work in knit, dye, quilt, print.
And this scarf you're wearing.
And this painted silk scarf.
That's beautiful.
Yes. It's made by Stephanie Crowley, who lives and works here in St. John's.
That's fantastic. It's gorgeous. And now come on over here, everybody, and just have a look through this shop because, I mean, I'm always happy when I can shop. I say that proudly. But beautiful photography. And here's an example of textiles. And now how does bath stuff figure in?
Well, we thought that our customers who come to our shop and to our fairs would like to have a wide range of choice. We started with soaps because a lot of people were making soap, and it's a very old traditional skill. And this particular one's here by Paradise Farms. These creams, they raise their own bees and use the wax and the honey in making their products. So
that's an art for sure.
So that's a really back to the basics.
Okay, now we're looking at some beautiful pottery here, and you've got an actual shop right here where people can learn.
We have a teaching clay studio in our building. There is a 2-year program on the west coast of the island, but there was no place on the east coast here in St. John's where craftspeople could learn the skills of working with clay. And we started a clay studio in this building in 1993, offering recreational classes to the general public.
So anybody could take it in? That's what I'm wondering.
Right.
Really? Okay,
yeah,
good.
Recreational classes from the very beginning level up to professional development sessions for practicing craft makers, who we often have visiting artists from outside the province come in and do special sessions. And many of the potters learn from each other. Of course, you know, practicing potters in the province will teach classes to others that are just getting started, and it's a great way to pass those skills around.
So Anne, now it's Newfoundland and Labrador.
Labrador is very important to us. In fact, in the middle 90s, we started a project called the Labrador Craft Marketing Agency, and it's based in Happy Valley. We have a staff person there, and it's designed to buy and sell high-quality Labrador work. Wow. We were finding before that if you wanted to buy craft made in Labrador, you had to go to Labrador to get it. You couldn't get it really anywhere else. We now are able to work with craftspeople there to encourage them to make more and to send it here for us to sell in our First Hands gallery. It shows the work of Labrador carvers. Most of the grass basket makers in Labrador have their heritage in Rigolette because that's where they tend to specialize in basket making. And the tea dolls are made in Labrador, and that's a really wonderful traditional story about when the family would move from their summer site on the ocean to their winter quarters inland. Everything they carried, of course, they had to carry with them everything that they had, and everything had to have a purpose. And so they would stuff the children's toys with tea, and the dolls are really made out of caribou skin and stuffed with tea. And then, of course, when they got to the other end, they would take the tea out and use it, and then stuff the dolls back with moss.
What an interesting story. I had no idea. That is beautiful. Is it? Come in and have a yarn. See? It's everything I love, knitting and talking. And I love it.
So we've focused on all the knits and all the fiber work in this little corner of our shop. There's both hand-spun yarns. Some of them.
This is Bay Naughty, and we were there.
This is Bay Naughty in Chapel's Cove.
That's lovely.
Much of the yarns are made from her own hand-spun fibers that come from her goats, and her sheep, and her llamas. Other people will bring in wool from other places and then dye it to make and spin it themselves. So this is from Corner Brook, from Sean O'Hagan, and this is a great little pattern. See, she makes the scarves.
Oh, now how about that?
See them over here, and lots of people said, "What beautiful scarves! Maybe I could make one myself." So now she has the yarn, the postcard with the picture of the finished object. The pattern is on the back.
Lady.
And here's the knitting needles.
I
So
love
everything
it.
you need to make a great pair of Visties. There you go.
That. That's amazing. And so your gallery is always changing as well, Anne.
That's right. We show 14 shows a year, actually, 8 in the main gallery and another 6 in our smaller annex gallery. The gallery it opened its first show in December of 1991. It took us 6 months to get that first show together, of going around visiting studios and visiting craftspeople and asking for pieces to put in the gallery, because they didn't quite know what was this craft gallery going to be.
Right.
It was called All That Wonderful Stuff. And it was a great show. It was a great show. And it was served as the launch of the opening of the Devon House Craft Centre. Now we're booking 2 and 3 years in advance. We've got a great lineup of craftspeople that are just applying for solo shows and for small group exhibitions. So.
And do you have receptions and things like that?
We always have an opening on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon to bring their friends and their family and the collectors and the general public in to see what we're doing. Of course, then the whole building is open pretty much 7 days a week right through the whole year.
Wow.
The gallery tends to focus on innovation. It tries to push the boundaries, encourage people to think outside of what they normally do and make special pieces. So of the 8 shows in the main gallery, 6 of them are proposed by individual or small groups of craftspeople, but 2 of them are call for entry shows, what we call for entry. One of them is our summer annual member show, so that we'll have the work of 60 or 70 people in the gallery, and it'll spread over 2 galleries to show, so that visitors to the province can just get a really eclectic look of all the different kinds of work that's made here from all corners of the province. And in our annex gallery, we've got a student show this time.
Now, what's a student show? Because this looks pretty professional to me.
Well, this is a smaller gallery space, and it tends to have either work that by new and emerging craftspeople who don't actually have enough work or are not ready to tackle a show in the main gallery, because that's 3 times the space and takes much more work. Or sometimes they're more educational shows. And this particular one is by a design class that is held through the Newfoundland and Labrador Rug Hooking Guild. Now, the guild is a provincial guild. They have over 150 members all over the province, a big heightened awareness of rug hooking in the province. And then this particular show is the work of maybe 10 or 12 people who are led by Jennifer Archer, so her work is in the show, and then the actual design brief is presented on the wall here behind me, and so that viewers can see what craftspeople were charged with in the beginning, and then you can see that their finished products are here along with some of their design materials and their inspiration sources. So it's a great opportunity for craftspeople that are just getting started to show their work, which in a gallery, which doesn't happen a lot, and it's a great promotional thing for the Rug Hookers Guild themselves, so that they can see what kinds of benefits can accrue to guild members. And then, of course, the people that whose work is actually being shown here are really thrilled to be able to bring their friends and their family.
Absolutely, and be a part of this wonderful offering, that's for sure. Well, this is an unbelievable spot for anybody to come, be inspired, and certainly shop, which is what I plan to do, Anne Manuel.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you plan to shop. We've got lots of great stuff to see. And one thing more that I'd like to tell your readers, viewers, what do you call it when it's an online magazine? Visitors, yes. Our annual Christmas Craft Fair is coming up in November, and this will be our 37th annual Christmas Craft Fair. It opens on November the 11th at the Arts and Culture Centre here in St. John's, and it's 8 days long. It happens over 2 weekends, Thursday to Sunday twice.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. There'll be craftspeople there from all over the province and a few from outside as well.
Very good.
It's a big event that a lot of craftspeople and a lot of the buying public look forward to every year.
But you're always doing wonderful events.
Yep, we have lots of great things that happen through the year for sure.
Okay, great thing for me, I'm shopping. Thanks, Anne.
Thank you, Stephanie, for coming.